Hey everyone, this is Mystic Fish. Welcome to episode 103 of our Factorio Space Age playthrough where we're working on upgradable bases. Last episode, we managed to upgrade science here on Gleba, including getting well, we're not processing this stuff right now because we built a system for back pressure where if Novice is not consuming agricultural science at the moment, we don't have to produce it. And so that helps us out. Looks like we are winning some quality Yamako, probably for our quality pentapod eggs hatchery, which we can see these guys are going. We now have the wiring set up so that we don't stall and jam these recyclers up. And we get a nice steady stream of common fruit through here, so that's all working well. Now, I was going to go start to address the resource problem on Novice, but we have been getting attacks here on Gleba because of the giant spore cloud from our orchards, and they do a lot of damage. Like when the big stompers come through, they just blow through all of these rails and stuff. So I think we need to actually just take a little side quest here to figure out a better defense system. Expanding the walls all of the big pentapods just step over and crush the walls, so those aren't super effective. So instead, I think what we want to do is try to keep the spore cloud clear. And there's a base over here, so I think we're going to use that as our guinea pig here. And here's what we're going to do. We can see just the outer edges of the artillery coverage. So I think we want to come and try to build some kind of little artillery outpost out here. So let's try this here and here. And then I want redundant. I don't think I did that right. Let's get those in so I can see where those went. But I think we want redundant power and roboport coverage. So I'm going to do sort of if we take a look at the grid here, we'll show this later. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here, here, there, and there. Now I can see this a little better. And then into the base. And the intent will be that we get redundant power connections out to this little outpost we're going to design. So I think part of the problem here is that we've spent a lot on having stuff really spaced out here, and so we don't really have enough concentrated firepower when the big pentapods come in. Plus, they really generate a much bigger attack waves when they're subject to, when they're sort of receiving spores. So I think it's better. We're going to build a little outpost here with an artillery turret. And then we're going to protect that artillery turret. So the idea will be we'll extend the range of our artillery coverage and then try to keep this clear of bases, and then we have enough firepower there to deal with a counterattack. So that's going to be the general idea here. But we're going to need to set this up first. So where do we want to do this? Let's do this here. I do want to make sure that we can extend this in all directions. So what I need is one of these guys. Because this is this is extending the electric and roboport network in all directions. Okay, now what do we want here? Let's get ourselves an artillery cannon. Need one of those. Okay. We're going to want to feed this thing artillery shells eventually. And then I think we want, if we do this, we can feed the rocket turrets through each other. And then I think we want Tesla cannons. Like that. And then around the outside, we're going to put flamethrowers. Okay, and then let's see. The other thing that we're going to need is we're going to want to get light oil into these guys. So we're going to need an assembly machine. And really I'd like it to line up with, maybe we put it up here. Because we're also going to want a tank, storage tank. I do this. And then if we get the pipes around like this, that means we can get this guy in here. I mean, I'd really like him to line up with, I mean, I suppose we could just do this. Okay, then we can unbarrel the light oil here, put it into the pipe system. And the idea of having, setting up a ring here is that if we lose any one segment of the ring, we can, like if I lost that pipe, I can still get around to all of the light oil can flow still around the whole thing. And we're going to ask for some light oil in reserve here as well. We're going to have this guy only be active if we have less than, let's call it 1,000 light oil in the tank. Now, I think if we're building these, and then what else do we want to get in here? Maybe a radar. I can't go there. Can we go there? I think radar is less important, but we can put the radar here. And then what I do want is I want redundant power. So I want to get like 2 substations because they can, each one of them can actually still cover everything. I think almost everything. This one can, this one can't. What if we move, let's move some stuff around here. That guy can go there now, which means for symmetry, we can get this guy back. And then if I get this down here, then that, okay, so then these can each cover the whole area, and then I think we can also get redundant big power poles in here to make sure we can connect back to the base. And then there actually is a spot for the radar here. Look at that. Okay, I think that's going to be, I think this is what we want to do here. Now, let's get some stuff in here. So we know that we're going to want some light oil, and let's see. I guess I should also be... We just have like a trickle of light oil we made up here. Up to 1,000. I should probably just... There's no reason not to buffer up as much light oil as we can get here. Okay, do we like this? We need some light oil barrels. These guys. Maybe 40. Okay, what else do we need in here? We need rockets. So maybe we'll do 40 there. That's all the ammo we need. This guy is still set. Okay, good. And I'm gonna do these in a separate section that's disabled. But let's get 20 artillery shells in here. I think we can store all this stuff. Let's get repair packs. Although we probably don't need that many. How about 50? How about 20? Okay, what else? I feel we should get a little bit of pipe. I feel like we should have maybe one Tesla turret involved as a backup. Maybe one backup flamethrower turret. What else do we have? I also want backup power poles, because I want to be able to, like, if this ends up not being sufficient to hold off the waves of attack, I want to be able to repair it pretty quickly. This is a requester chest. I actually want this to be a buffer chest so the construction bots can get access to it. Oh, and I need a way to trash the barrels that come out of this guy, right? And there's just enough room for that if I do that. Okay, what next? I think we want to do the following. We want to prioritize the biggest things. I want you to do this guy. I want really to do, I mean, this is like our best defense here. But I want you to prioritize, I think, stompers. And then you can hit the unlisted ones. I think that's fine. Okay, so those cover those. Good, now we're putting the light oil in. Great. All of the flamethrower turrets are lit up. Can I do this? Except I think I want to switch these. I think I want you to do the strafers first. Sure, let's try that. And you can still shoot anything else that you can get your hands on. All right, do we have all this? Okay, we got, all right, good, good, good. So then we can bring in some artillery like that. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to turn this off. I mean, all right, fine. And I think I want to blueprint this thing. Okay, so we're gonna call this Gleba artillery outpost. Okay, and we're just gonna say, what are we gonna call this? Gleba and artillery? Sure. Okay. Create blueprint. Let's put it there. Where are we gonna put this in the blueprint book? Do I have other Gleba stuff here somewhere? Yeah, right there. This thing. Okay. Cool. And then now I can turn this on. I don't think we're in range of anything. But now I think I can do this. I think I can copy all of this, and just extend it further out. Like that. And then I'll turn this, since I copied it, this one's not disabled. I don't want to enable the, I don't want to enable the artillery. I guess we're working our way down towards that guy. Okay. So I'll be right back after we get a couple more sort of leapfrogs of this out here to test this thing out. So stay tuned. Okay, we now have this built, and this little outpost is in range of 2 bases. So this should be interesting. Because of where this got placed, I realized these guys were going to come in from the back here. So I did put flamethrowers on the back side here as well, and I updated the blueprint. The other thing that I want to do here is I want to make our artillery outpost bots. So I want to make sure that there's always at least 20 bots out here, which there currently are, but that way they stay close in order to repair stuff. So I brought in all the ammo and everything, and I just turned this inserter. So I guess let's see what happens. We'll see how we do. I guess we want to look like this. Okay, here they come. All right, we got all those bases. We got these bases. Wow, the artillery fires really fast. Wow, look at the flamethrowers try to hit the strafers. Wow, but man, that big pool of fire works really well against all those wrigglers. Oh wait, whoa, those big guys. All right, looks like it worked okay. Took some damage, but then we should be pretty clear here. These guys are just gonna expire on their own. Wow, that big guy was like fierce. Okay, so we want to prioritize the things that don't move as fast with these guys. So I think we want to prioritize the wrigglers first. I guess all of these. Whatever stuff you have here. And then I guess you can do the other guys after that, right? Probably stompers first. And then the strafers. The strafers are kind of like too fast for the flamethrowers to track. But I'm going to say that was pretty effective, and we did get to the edge of the pollution cloud here. So that is good. So I think what I'm going to do, and I'll do this off camera, is I'm just going to like plunk enough of these down to clear the pollution cloud. So, or spore cloud. I guess it's a spore cloud. I'm used to calling it a pollution cloud. And that's going to be kind of time consuming, but that's okay because I'm going to do it off camera. So when we come back, we'll review how that went. So stay tuned. All right, we're back, and we are. I'm gonna have to intervene here because we are getting just massive attack groups up here of stuff that's, and this is like, these are super critical because this is how we're getting our fruit in. So I think we're gonna have to take the. Where are these guys? Oh, here they are. We're going to have to take these guys for a spin and figure out where these guys are coming from. Especially up here because basically as a result of the stoppers coming through, like we're really not keeping up with our light oil production. And so we're going to have to... Where are these guys? Oh my gosh, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Like, just massive attack groups. Where are these coming from, you know? Alright, maybe that is that where they were coming from? Maybe. Let's see what else is up here. Okay. If we can get the trains back working, I think we just don't... We're out of... Wow, we're out of rails. What are the rails missing? Oh, I also need to get Tesla turrets down here, I think. Because I had some guys bust out of the science. Because stuff expired with eggs in it. Can we get one here? Okay, good. Okay. Are we... Okay. Alright, the missing rails are falling. Okay, that's good. So we're making them. Okay. This is the... Yeah, but we gotta, like, defend this stuff up here. Man, that one base. Here's some more, guys. Whoops. I think I clicked on the map. Okay. Maybe that will give us enough breathing room to get ourselves going again. All right, how many missing rails are we down to? 64. Okay, where are the rails? In the mall. And rails. Here they are. You are missing stone. Ah. We do have stone. We did get some stone here. 80k. That's a good amount of stone. Here's 206. Oh, we're already mining that for landfill. Okay, let's do this. Ah, I know what I want to do. If I do that, this is full of stone. Okay, good. All right, so that makes more stone available if I just make that thing. That should help us recover. Because I think all of our light oil is going up here to the get stomped on, basically. These are, well, there's a lot of light oil up here, so that's okay. Are we making it down here? We're waiting on coal, which is waiting on carbon, which is waiting on nutrients, right? Because we're not able to bring Yamako in yet. Okay. Wow, here comes all the stone. Haha. Okay, that'll help. What now? Okay, we got some down here. Not so bad, but like, yeah, it's pretty intense here. So a little touch and go. I want to see that we do manage to. Okay, we're getting a lot of stone into the mall now with the rails. Okay, rails are going. How much are you requesting? I think we want to do this. Yeah, get more stone in there. Okay. Good. Where are we at now? Yeah, these giant big stompers like really do a number. So we really the outposts are better because I think the Tesla cannon, everything is like packed closer together, and so we get more concentrated firepower. We just need to be able to get oil out there. All right, how many missing rails do we have? 18. All right, we're getting closer. Okay, we need this one right there. Oh no, maybe that one, maybe all right. Well, we're back to producing stuff here, so okay, good. All right, so shortly the base will recover here, I think. Wow, what an adventure. Okay, all right. It looks like we're back in business here. So, and I guess another lesson here is like the rails really should not be outside of the base defense. So a lesson for next time I start a base on Gleba. But also I think the walls are like sort of not super useful. Let's see. Do you have artillery in you? No, because we're waiting on you to get oil. Okay, I can't turn these on yet because we're not getting oil into them yet because we're still recovering up here. And we need the carbon, but I think once we start making nutrients up here, which we are. We gotta wait for the nutrients to like make their way around the whole loop here and then back up to the carbon. All right, fun little adventure. So stay tuned. I'll stop back in if anything else unusual happens. All right. Hey there, everyone. Just wanted to do a quick sort of in-progress update here. So I've now distributed these little artillery outposts at various points. I'm not quite done, but let's see. You can see where they all are. I'm sort of spreading them around the base, and you know, as you can see, you're getting close to covering most of the spore cloud. So we have to work on that. What's going on up here? Oh, that was boom. What are these things? Boom puffs, damaging the stuff getting built. It looks like we actually took out something up here, probably from this guy. And it's generally working pretty well. Let me just show you the electric grid that we have going on, I ended up making a little blueprint here, which extends our sort of like Roboport coverage 3 diamonds worth of Roboports, and then puts an artillery pod down at the end. And so, you know, for example, I was like stamping this one down here to extend. The limiting factor is actually getting enough light oil in. So it's good that these are sort of disabled, that the artillery is disabled until it starts disabled, so we don't get an attack. Although I will say, just the Tesla cannons by themselves do a pretty good job against most stuff. But the thing that like really works are the flamethrowers. I'll see if I can get some footage of that happening. But basically, what happens is the Tesla cannons stun, especially the big stompers, and then, man, they are susceptible to flame, and the flamethrowers just like toss a ton of. They're not good at tracking fast enemies, and so. But if we can pin them in place and stun them, then they do a pretty good job of torching them. So, so that's working pretty well. Once we get, let's see, do we have? I guess this guy does have ammo in. He probably cleared that guy out. So, you know, slowly working our way. This guy is done. This guy is waiting to be done. And so what I'm trying to do is the ones that are waiting to get filled, I'm leaving sort of as sort of an outcrop like this. So I know which ones to check. Like I know I need to check this one. This one is still waiting for, it's got some of the light oil, but not all of it, etc. So I have come and I did try to speed a few things up here to sort of try to make as much coal as possible here to try to keep this running pretty well, but it's still pretty slow. So I'm actually importing light oil from Novice now, which speeds things up considerably. So at any rate, I am going to continue until we've got the whole Spore cloud covered, but I want to just sort of show you what's been going on as we go. So stay tuned, and I'll check back in when we've got it all covered. Okay, I built a temporary one of these outposts. I couldn't build the normal distance because it would have put me right on top of these guys, but this guy is ready to get the artillery turned on. So we'll see this in action, I think, once we get some artillery in here. Let's see, what does this tell us? We have 20 on the way, great. Cool, so then we'll see, this should be an interesting one. I think all of this stuff, this whole bit here is all within range of this guy. So we should, and this is pretty big, so, well, what's going on here? We apparently had somebody running around the outside here, but as you can see, this sort of dealt with them. I think these are the guys coming from over here, but it dealt with them pretty fast. So these are working pretty effectively. We'll see how this looks when we get maybe a bigger attack, but let's see. Are these artillery shells? I think these are artillery shells. Okay, cool. Then we will be able to see this thing shortly. Is this a good perspective? Like, here's probably a good perspective. We'll be able to see them coming in. But here goes the artillery. Ooh, that's a lot of guys. All right, let's see how this works. Let's get the Tesla cannons. Ooh, it's pretty crazy. We definitely got a lot of collateral damage there, but again, so we can see, even though we had some of the flamethrower turrets break, the other ones, wow, they even took out the tank, the storage tank. But I think, did we run out of artillery? I think I'm going to turn this off for a second until we can repair this stuff. But seems to have done the trick here. So yeah, that's that I think pretty effectively cleared that stuff out. Once this whoa, we got more. Okay, let's see how this does. The Tesla cannons are back. That's going to help. We're getting rockets back in. That'll help. The Wrigglers are not as much of an issue. If they even decide to come and attack, the flamethrower turrets will deal with them very effectively. But that was a pretty big attack. And we survived well enough, and now we're, we definitely won the war of attrition there. So that's what that's looking like. So I'm just gonna finish out covering the rest of the spore cloud here, and then we should not get any more attacks after that. Because there won't be, outside of the spore cloud, there's nothing to trigger an attack, and as long as we have artillery past the edge of, and all of these can see each other, so basically wherever we have turrets, our little outposts set up, we will not see any expansions in there because they'll just get stomped on right away, so by our artillery. So I think we're in good shape. We're going to finish that out, and we'll be back when it's done. Okay, we are back, and not quite done, almost around to the edge, but one of the things I was looking at here was, that's not what I want to look at. I want to look at the electric network. And all of the Tesla turrets from all of these outposts are actually beginning to put a pretty big strain on the electric network. I mean, we've got lots of capacity, but I think some of that is based on the fact that the base is currently active. And if I recall correctly, let's see, this is, how many of these do we have? We have 18 of these. And let's see, 18 times 40 is like 700 something, right? So megawatts. So we're like pretty much using most of the power that just this would provide, which means that that could be a problem if the base shuts down. I mean, this will continue doing it, but it means that the Tesla turrets could starve everything else. And so that seems not good. So I was thinking about doing some circuit network stuff here in order to see if we can do something smart here. So I want to use, this is like, I want to use a power switch here. So we'll put this here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift click these power poles, and then specifically put power connections in. And I think if we're doing this, then it's not really necessary to have these large power poles. And so instead, what we can do is connect the substations this way so they have a redundant connection back to the switch. I suppose if we really wanted to, we could do something like this, where we get redundant power switches. I did actually put power switches into the mall, so those should show up shortly. But what is the idea here? The idea here, and here I can, if I turn either one of these on, then we get power in here, which I think if we have redundant connections like that, that maybe gives us a little more survivability, just in case. So then, now we need to control the power switches. So how do we want to do that? So I think the things that we want to do are as follows. So one is, I think we specifically want to only load these rocket turrets to 10. So I'm going to say a constant of 10 minus the number of rockets in the rocket turret. And here I can read ammunition. So that gives me the 11. 10 minus 11 is... Oh, I need to actually put the rockets here. 10 minus 11 gives me minus 1. And so then from here, what I can do is I can set the stack size to be the rockets, which in this case is minus 1, so that would not pick anything up. I can then do the same thing here, and I can plug this in here, and then this in here, copy this, and then I believe what that means is that if I now get rid of these should load exactly to 10 and then stop. And same thing here. No, that didn't work. Oh, because I didn't... Yeah? Oh, these control signals aren't right. 10 minus the red rockets. Oh, it's because I'm not reading this. There we go. Let's try that again. It should load to 10. Okay, that loads exactly to 10, so that's good. Okay, good. Now, we're gonna connect these to the substations. We're gonna connect the artillery here. We're gonna read ammunition. I think we want another one of these, except now we're gonna say just load to 5 minus artillery shells, give me artillery shells, and then this guy is going to control this guy, and it's going to set the stack size to artillery shells, which I suppose is... I actually don't need a combinator for this, do I? Because the ammo only has a stack size of 1. So I think what we can do is we can set the stat. That's not what we want. We want stack size of 1, and then you only want to be enabled if artillery shells less than 5. Okay, good. So these should load when they're full. These will be exactly 10. This will be exactly 5. Then we can also read the contents of each of these and make sure these also get onto the same green network. These hold 100 fluid each. So Now we need to do some combinator stuff. Okay, so we are going to get a decider combinator here. Maybe I want to put this in the middle. Can I reach there as well? I can't quite reach there. But that's as far as I can get away. I guess I can move it up a little more. Then I can get it from either side, and if I put this here, that will power the combinators in the middle here. Okay. All right. So I think what we want to do is we want an SR latch. So when it is set, we want power to flow through here, and we want the circuits to be on. So when do we want that to be the case? I think that is if we have rockets less than 20, or we have ammunition less than 5, or artillery. Actually, we need to read ammunition here. And it looks like I did not set the priorities on all these guys around here. Okay, and then, right, there are 16 flamethrower turrets, so if any of those are true, then we're going to assume that we're under attack, and we should issue the set signal. Now, the cool thing about this is that flamethrower turrets, rocket turrets, and artillery cannons, none of these actually need power to work. If I turn these off, all of those turrets still work. So if they start shooting at something, we should see that on the green network. And in fact, with it off, we can still see the contents. So that's all good stuff. Let's turn this back on. Okay, so that's going to be the set signal. And we'll have that be... this is going to be our standard S is greater than R, output S, 1S. Okay, so that will remember when we're set. Okay, then the next thing will be, we kind of want the opposite of this. So in this case, if we have enough of all of these things, and that's the same input, then we're going to say we're okay. And we're going to do something similar to what we did with the biter egg counter. So as soon as we have stocked back up, we're going to start a counter for 30 seconds. And so that is going to look like this, which is we're going to get these guys here. And this is going to be we're okay times T output T. So when we're okay, it's going to start a counter going up. And when we're not okay, meaning if we start using some of this stuff, it will reset the counter because the check mark will be 0 and that will wipe this out. Good. And then the last thing that we need is then Oh, I wish I could fit this. I guess I can fit it in there. That's fine. So here, we're going to say if T is greater than or equal to 1800, meaning that we've been okay for at least 30 seconds, then that will be our reset signal. We're going to assume we're restocked and nothing else is going on. And then that can go here to the SR latch. And then finally, this guy is going to control these. And this will be enabled if S is greater than 0, like that. And that should turn off the switches. Okay, so how do we want to test this? I think the easiest way to test this is as follows. We can remove some rockets out of here. And as soon as they're pulled, the power comes back on. We've restocked, and when this gets to 30 seconds, once T gets to 1800, it should shut off again. And so it's probably the case. I mean, actually, the nice thing will be, since the artillery fires first and it's longer range, if we're taking out a base, and maybe I actually want to give it. Maybe I actually want to give it a whole minute. Where is this? And it shut back off again. Okay, good. Because I must have gotten to 30 seconds. Did I do it? I don't know. Let's count. All right, so it should be back on. We're now okay, so that's good. We're now counting. That's good. And so after a minute, this should shut back off again, I think. And so when we're taking on an expansion, the artillery will fire first. That, as soon as the first shell comes out, that should give us the opportunity to start the timer. It gives up to a minute for a revenge attack to come in. Hopefully we're still awake by then. But if nothing has happened within a minute, and assuming that we see this work here and shut off momentarily, where's our counter? That's this guy, right? So it's getting closer. As soon as that gets to 3.6, and then it turns back off. Great. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go update our blueprints and apply this everywhere. So that, which I think I can do by, well, it's gonna be a little intensive, but that's okay. I'll do this, and then right now we're consuming, let's see, where's our power? Right now we're consuming 500 megawatts in Tesla cannons, and so let's see what this looks like after we're done. Actually, I thought of one more failure mode, which is that if this stuff gets destroyed, we might not have anything that gets the S signal into the power switches. And so I think what we want is, we want some kind of like dead man switch here, which is to say that here, if S is not on, then we're going to say we want no electricity in this case. So we're going to say this. Is that right? This is off. Right, so then what we want is we take this off, put this here, and we say this is enabled as long as no is less than or equal to 0. And then same here. So this is reset, which means that no is correct because S is not on the output of the latch. And so this is off, even if all this stuff went away, right? Because the default of all signals is 0. So, so as long as we don't have the signal that's suppressing the power switch, we inverted it, right? So we have to specifically turn it off. Because if this got destroyed, oh, that's not what we wanted. Ah, I can fix that like this, because I think we also want that connected like that. And then I can do this, and they'll stay on. Right. And as soon as this combinator comes back in, it should suppress the signals again. Or we get the no signal, and that should turn these guys off. Ta-da. Okay, great. So I'm going to do that instead because that's a little more robust. I think if stuff is it all not working the way that we want it to, then we might as well turn the power on because something has gone wrong. All right, I'm going to go put this in place and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, we are back and let's take a look at the power here. Drastically reduced the usage of Tesla turrets. We're back down comfortably within the envelope of our rocket fuel power plant. And all of the outposts now have the power switch logic on them. So we'll finish up covering the pollution cloud and then we'll wrap up. Okay, we are finally done, I think, for the moment here on Gleba defenses. Let's see, how does this look? Here is the Spore cloud that we're currently generating. And then here are, I guess it's easier to see, these are all of the turrets we have. And you can see we've got turret coverage now out beyond, or turrets. It's really hard to see the turret coverage here, but basically it extends beyond the Spore cloud in all directions. You can see the electric grid that underpins it as we go here. Let's see. I did make some small updates for like sort of the final version of this thing. So let's see. I moved the radar back out here so that when the switches are off, the radar still works. The visibility seems useful to me. Let's see. No changes here. I did change the priorities for the rocket turrets so that it shoots strafers first and then goes to the stompers, but then doesn't shoot anything smaller than that because like it just sort of wastes too many rockets. And then the flamethrower turrets go for the stompers first because like they're the ones that do the most sort of quick damage. Then sort of doing the strafers last because basically the flamethrower turrets cannot track them very well. And then the wrigglers after that. And it's sort of in the middle. So stompers first because they're the most dangerous. And then the wrigglers because the other ones are like, well, rockets are not shooting them. Tesla cannons can get them, but and in fact, we're not ignoring the unlisted targets, but we do want the Tesla turrets to get those guys first. Let's see. The other thing I did was I decided to update the set of requests in the buffer chest here so that there's enough backup materials to build another one of these artillery outposts. And so that means that as long as this chest doesn't get destroyed and we have sort of like some construction bots, we can quickly replace things that get destroyed. And that did work pretty well. And then as a result, there wasn't room for the artillery in here anymore. And so I made a separate artillery box out here, which since I got rid of the large power poles, there's now enough room for. Let's see. The other thing that I should just mention is that actually flamethrower turrets have 1400 health. Which means they're like pretty good walls, to be honest. So sometimes their main job is to just like have wrigglers chew on them until the Tesla turrets can pick them off. And I found that this final configuration was the most effective. So this would actually like really hold off a lot of big attacks and survive them reasonably well. I didn't always. Sometimes I had to like come play cleanup with the Spidertrons, but not that often. Not that often. So that. But now that we have our pollution cloud is free of pentapod bases and nests, we don't have attacks. And so from here, once we get some, I think I'm going to go back and start doing the artillery range research. I hadn't done it because back here on Novice, there wasn't any point. We had these walls, which are pretty effective, and really we just need artillery to prevent expansions from getting closer than the flamethrowers can reach, which doesn't require any artillery upgrades. But now there's a good reason to do this because we can't really have walls here on Gleba. I think the walls have proven ineffective, and that keeping the pollution cloud free is really the way to go. And so more artillery range means that we can space these out further from one another and spend less time on sort of plunking down all these artillery outposts. The switching the Tesla turrets off seems to work pretty well as desired, and so as a result, we can take a look at our power draw. Things are pretty much back to sort of a quiescent state here. All the mall has like finished catching up on everything that it wanted to build, and you can see we're only drawing like 360 megawatts. Our rocket fuel power plant is, north of 700 megawatts. So we're good here. Anything else that the base does production-wise also generates some extra electricity with it. So I think we're in good shape here on the power. And you can see this was up over like 500 megawatts, if I recall correctly, before we figured out how to make them sleep. I thought about going back. I think most of these are actually in the walls here. I think, that's mostly these guys. And, like, I guess I could relatively they're all next to rocket turrets, right? Or mostly. So, I could probably just do the thing and just say, you're asleep as long as I've got, the right number in here, but we're within the power envelope and I kind of want to work on something else. So I'm not going to go do that until we have to. But we have that in our back pocket if we want to do that. So what is going to be next? I think what's next, and I think we can just turn all of that off and it looks like a nice peaceful base with no biters around us. So I think what we're going to do next is we're going to come back over here and we have to do something about getting science restarted here on Novice. And so I have some stuff planned. I need to do a little bit of planning work around that. So it might be a little bit before I can get a video out, but I will be back once I get that stuff at least semi-worked out. Like, as you can obviously see, I sometimes work stuff out as we're recording, but You know, because I want to get you the freshest content possible. And so sometimes I don't have it all worked out. But I do need to do a little bit of planning work. So I'm going to work on that. And otherwise, that's what we have for today. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye.